Explosions along the border between Israel and Lebanon, as Israeli forces begin a ground incursion into the neighbouring country. For days, Israel had been warning of this next phase of its war against Lebanese militant group Hezbollah, with an aim to remove the threat to its northern border. Israelis living in the border towns were evacuated over the past 11 months of conflict.
וזה יהווה גורם משמעותי בשינוי המצב הביטחוני ויאפשר לנו להשלים את החלק החשוב של החזרת התושבים לבתיהם.
The Israeli military characterized this ground raid into Lebanon as limited in scope, saying there will be no long-term occupation, but they declined to specify the duration of their operation or how deep troops would venture into the country. US officials say they've been informed about the mission, but continued to push for a diplomatic solution, with US President Joe Biden shifting away from his defense of Israel's actions and calling for an immediate ceasefire.
I'm more aware than you might know, and I'm comfortable with them stopping. We should have a ceasefire now.
The ground operation marks a new phase of fighting that threatens to unleash further devastation across Lebanon, which has been thrown into a humanitarian crisis over a week of intense Israeli airstrikes. More than 1,000 people have been killed and more than 1 million displaced. Some dual citizens who were evacuated from the embattled country detailed the devastation there. Israel says the civilian casualties are a result of Hezbollah hiding their ranks and weapons in populated areas. The bombardment specifically targeted the militants' communication capabilities and command structure, killing the group's longtime leader, Hassan Nasrallah. But ahead of the cross-border invasion, Hezbollah made clear in their first speech since the death of their leader that they would continue the fight against Israel.
سنواجه أي احتمال ومستعدون إذا قرر الإسرائيلي أن يدخل بريا فالقوات قوات المقاومة جاهزة للالتحام البري.
Israel's escalation of the conflict in Lebanon is increasing international fears of a wider war in the Middle East, with the potential to draw in Hezbollah ally Iran. Iran said it wanted to avoid a war, but avowed the assassination of Hezbollah's leader would not go unanswered.
برای جنایاتی که در حق ملت ایران، در حق محور مقاومت و در حق اتباع شهروندان و نظامیان ایرانی مرتکب شده بدون توبیخ و بدون در واقع تنبیه حتما عرض به خدمت شما که
There are fears this ground invasion into Lebanon could cross a red line for Iran. In a video released by his office, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the Iranian people directly, laying the responsibility for a further escalation on their leaders.
There is nowhere in the Middle East Israel cannot reach. There is nowhere we will not go to protect our people and protect our country. With every passing moment, the regime is bringing you, the noble Persian people, closer to the abyss.
Once again, dismissing international calls for calm, with more threats that could draw other players in the region into the conflict, increasing the risk of an all-out regional war. Dolphine, Chen and Rosie Grenenger for TaiwanPlus.